should be live now. Yes. Make it ring, make it ring, make it ring. And there I am back live with the lapel mic. Yes, so fantastic. Fantastic. I am doing this live stream today. Hi, for those of you tuning in later, for those of you tuning in now. Let's say hello in the chat. So just to say hi to anyone in the chat, which so far is nobody. Doesn't matter. There I am. I didn't publicize this very well. I am not good at doing promotions for my channel, which I will learn in the foreseeable. But for now, it's okay. I'm going to demonstrate some things to you, okay? Because the subject of today is to ask me anything. So for the next hour, I am here at your disposal if you so wish to message me and ask questions about whatever's happening. I hope the sound is coming in good for hello. I got one person here saying hello. Well, hello to you. Hello to you. Just checking, of course, the sound. If the sound is okay, hello to you as well. People in the chat, say hello. Hope the sound is okay, because today I'm doing a sound demonstration for you guys. I'm going to talk about recording yourself. For in this room, it is very quiet. You can probably hear the computer in the background. And when you record yourself, everything will be heard. Okay? Sound is great. Well, thank you, F. Ray. F_Ray. It's really small on my other screen. Is there a way to make it bigger? I don't know. Yes, so the subject of today, of course, is to ask me anything. And there are some questions that have come up to me via email from particular students, potential students, people participating in our next recital, which is the Studio Ghibli recital. If you can guess the song by which I played, it was a medley of tunes. It is my favorite movie of all time. It is a Ghibli movie, and it is the first Ghibli movie. Hello, Teresa. Are you able to fix the dubbing sound is ahead of action? Oh, it is not in sync. Okay. So my voice is not in sync with my, see, this is where I do this. So we're going to go into this, go into settings. I love this. So my voice isn't in sync with everything else because, of course, oh my gosh. Oh, I think I have to do this right here. Advanced audio properties. I am going to do something to the microphone. See if this improves anything. Boop. So, I don't know if this is coming in with me. If the voice is matching the video stream, so people in the chat will help me. I need to have like I need to have a time to really dial this in. This is why we do this. Right, so if the voice isn't synced or the cello isn't synced, if it's a little delayed, then I can fix that with some possible other things. But right now, it looks like no one is doing anything, so maybe I will just be ready to mess with that again in the very, very soon output. Audio, that's good. Audio output's good. It's still a thing. And it's a cello sound too. Yeah. It's all connected to the same thing. So I am going to see if this fixes it. Maybe this will. They say 280. So we're going to go to 280. Oh, it's easier just to do this. Go to do bup, bup, bup. All right, close. Yes, when using these applications, there is an offset that I have to do with the beginning. I swear, you know, the easiest part of my job is the actual playing of the cello. If that's synced up for all of my 6 concurrent viewers, 5 concurrent viewers, because I am one of them. So I just put an offset of 280 seconds. If my voice is synced up a little bit better, or if it is, or maybe the cello, but they're both the same. Everything's on the same input. So hopefully that's better. I'll figure it out in the foreseeable. I'll have to have people have just a, I guess, thing on Patreon where you guys will help me out. Anyway, that's not going to be as important because we're going to be looking at this perspective the most today, okay? I'm going to be talking about the sound quality by which you're going to be recording. So this is, this is what I prepared today right here. This is what I prepared. And what we are going to be looking at is the different type of microphones that you may have in your disposal for the recording of your video for this upcoming recital. And so I have here two very basic microphones. They're both connected in different ways. One microphone right here, this is a USB microphone. You see right here. So simple USB, bought in America at Best Buy, simple USB microphone for equivalent of about 50 euros or $60. And then we have here, excuse the cat hair, here we have a different microphone. This one here would be a, let's just say, $300 microphone with an XLS input to a audio interface. Two very different microphones. And I'm going to remove this to really sort of drive this home. Okay, so the question is, what type of microphone should you use to record your cello? Again, if it's better synced, give me a thumbs up in the chat. If it's not, I'll continue messing with it, but I'll figure it out in the future. It sounds good, but it's not synced. Well, that's the most important part. Right. The microphone that you are hearing off of is on my music stand. It is an upgraded version of this AKG C214. It is the AKG C414 XLS. And you also hear me from my lapel mic. So I'm going to give you a demonstration of what these sound like. Okay. I'm going to first give a demonstration of what this microphone here sounds like. Okay. Okay. So here we go. Put on your headphones. If you're watching this live stream out of a phone or something, get your AirPods, headphones, put them in your ear, because this is going to matter. You're not going to be able to understand this if you're watching off your iPad or any device that doesn't have actual audio. So have your time to put in your audio, okay? Put it, audio device, headphones, something, okay? Something good. Because what I'm going to do right now is highlight just this right here. This is a very simple microphone, $60. Everything's going to go silent except that. Okay, we have desire for 1 second. So here we go. Now, I have cut everything except my lapel microphone. And this, yeah, it's not in sync. It's still not in sync. Okay, whatever. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. It's not in sync. We're going to figure it out another day. Okay, we're just going to figure it out another day. All right. For the purpose of this shot, it's okay. Okay. So, here we go. I'm going to show you the quality of this microphone right here, which I just tapped on. We're going back. I see you're having discussions here. So let's look at these. So this microphone, looks like you guys like the little one. There's a big difference between the loudness and the sound. Yes, there's a big difference between the loudness and the sound. Now this microphone here is a powered microphone, and what I needed to do is give more power to this one right here. So when I'm playing, now they're at the equal levels. And just based on the fidelity, think about, I'm going to play, this is the razor, so this just be simple. Now I'm going to change to this one. And so what you probably have heard, now I'm going to, cut my lapel mic, because so what I've done now is I've effectively made them both the same in their output. So this is now outputting relatively the same output as this. I know it comes in louder, this one here, so I had to adjust it so it's coming in a little softer, because it is a powerful little guy. It's a USB microphone. Yeah, good for its money, right? 60 bucks. Here we go again, starting with the little guy, the $60 microphone from Best Buy. Now the AKG. Oh, sorry, this is one. Yes, finally we got somebody in the chat who's noticed it. I'm going to do it one more time, okay? This is why I asked you guys to put in your headphones. Because Octavius, hello to you, sir, Mr. Phoenix. You play a cello. I know it's not synced. Excuse the voice. Sorry, I'll talk like this, all right? I'll put a mask on. You play a low instrument with low strings, yeah. And what this beautiful little microphone does here is it captures a lot of the mid-range, okay? Good, by the way, Octavius. He got his NXT8, very good. Another electric cello player in the chat. So this one here is a good microphone for picking up your relative. I'm going to put this cello down. All right, I'm going to put this cello down. So this microphone here is good for picking up general sound, nothing too incredible. Now I'm going to talk close to it, and you're going to hear this going to be only this. I'm going to switch to the little razor. The little razor right here. And so, going back to face, right. So this one, if I'm up to it, sounds good. Because these type of microphones are, well, if you open them up and we actually show them to you, the technology in them, it has very basic. Again, it's $60, USB microphone. Going directly with no interface or anything, okay? Sounds really good up close because I consider these what I call podcasting microphones. They're really good directional. But if I turn it a little bit this direction or this direction, then it's going to lose a lot of its sound. So it's much more if I'm turning toward it. Now, I haven't opened it up. I don't know if it's 360 degrees, but I'm presuming it's only in the front. But it sounds good up close. Yet. At closer listen, this microphone, and I'm not going to hurt anyone's ears, but at closer listen, this microphone picks up all the other details. Like I have a baritone voice. You're going to hear the lowness in it. You're going to hear a little bit more. So if I sing low, I got to take a little bit lower because it is much more sensitive if I come up close. And if I turn it, it takes a lot more sound when I'm turning it around. Now there's nothing on the back. So I've talked about, now I prefer to use large diaphragm microphones. A large diaphragm microphone, for those of you who don't know what that is, I want to show you up close. Let's try to get it in the shot. It's going to be hard too. All right, it's better to show it on the other side. There it is right there. You see this big ring in the middle? We can't really see that. Jeez, crazy. There is a way you can, let me angle it. You can see I practiced this part. Especially with, oh wait, I think I saw it. Oh, jeezy crazy. A large diaphragm microphone has a ring in it. Yeah? Has a big diaphragm in it that's going to capture a lot more sound. Now, for a cello, for voice, and for general area, large diaphragm microphones are the best type of microphones to use, especially if you're recording with multiple instruments. These are good. Also for voice, very good. Ribbon microphones are good too, but I'm not going to expect you to buy ribbon microphones. While this one, going back to the trusty Razor, this little guy, great for on the go. Great. It's I mean, for $60 you can't beat it. It's such a good microphone for its value. So I'm going to link this in the description below. These are just great. I have a C1 Behringer. Oh, there we go. See? Very good. Yeah. And so for those of you who are just looking to record for this upcoming recital, if you don't have the money to splurge on something like this, we're going to get to that question, Trash Panda. We'll get to the question. Yes, ask the question in the chat and I'll answer for sure, okay? Ask about cello playing. They ask me anything, right? We're here for that. This one right here will do worlds better because if I put the microphone of the computer or your phone up, you won't be nowhere near this right here. So this is what I suggest. There we go. We're going to go back to the usuals. And yeah, there you go. So I think you've heard it. The best for you is going to be minimum something that's external that you can place closer to your cello. Now I have it on a little bit low. You should have it higher than your F holes. These are F holes right here. And you should have it, a little bit elevated. So both these microphones aren't high enough. I have another one that is right here. You can't see my usual one. And that's at a perfect level. You want that at a higher level. You always want your microphone to even at a place that's sort of here in front of you, not here, but here in front of you, right there. And last thing, yeah, so ask any questions in the chat, I'll answer them. And if I'm not synced, I'm sorry. I'm just, it is what it is. About presenting yourself during your recording. I would love for you guys to smile when you play. Don't. A lady said she had RBF. That's an acronym for resting face. So she had RBF when you play. So don't look so serious. You know, don't have to enjoy yourself. People are going to listen to you, but they're going to watch you. They're going to be looking at you. So do definitely go with a very enjoyable performance, especially if you're playing anything with Studio Ghibli. All this is fun stuff. She's playing Totoro. That's a happy song. One of my students is playing that one. You're not going to play that song the same like the or you're not going to play Legend of Ashitaka the same as you're going to play Ghibli. Or for those of you who know, going to play Nashika or the Valley of Wind is going to be different. But even as I was playing that, the mood changes because you're playing. And then it goes major. You know, it has a nice, a definite mood change in it. So put on a happy face. Put on a happy face. What another thing? Oh, when you record with the Bluetooth speaker next to you as that. So we have a question about too much or too little rosin on your bow. So we'll get right to the Ask Me Anything questions. I'm talking for enough. That's your recording tips. I'm going to be talking more about that in the foreseeable before the recital. Now it's time for questions. We have question number 1. So, hello to you, at me. I like how you did your activity. I don't know. How can I tell if I have too much or too little rosin on your bow? Well, that's an easy one to answer. Too much or too little rosin. You can't see it. I don't have the right angle for right now, so sorry. That's down. That's an easy one. Too much rosin is you will feel it. It will stick too much. It just will. So you should always wipe off your strings. I'm going to be talking as I'm doing this. You should wipe off your strings every single week at least. And then you should at least clean them off with alcohol once a week or once every 2 weeks and get that grime off of there. That will help you out a lot. And how you know if you don't have enough rosin, it's really easy. I'm doing, this is all stuff. Let's see, this is stuff that people do for you if you have a crew. So this is production stuff right now I'm doing. Getting all dialed in. There you go. Right. There we go. Too little rosin would sound like it would sound like your strings are sliding, just sliding over. There's nothing, you're just sliding. You're just not getting enough. Another thing is a visual. Look visually at your bow. Okay. There's always a part in your bow which is going to lose its rosin. It's going to be darker. It's going to be like the color of the hair of the horse, which is here. And then there's a white stuff. So paint it white. That's all. Too much will be too sticky. You also, since we're on the subject of this, make sure that this part right here, there's as least amount of white rosin on the end of your fingerboard as possible. Hope that helped you out. Am I still playing a 7/8 cello? Well, let's go to Octavius. Octavius is asking a question. Sorry, it's over here. One day I'll get a bigger screen. Have you ever tried 3 Sigma Audio acoustic impulses? There's something called Acoustify. The answer is yes. We're going to be talking about the electric cello because I do electric cello stuff. Yes, I always use a Sigma 3 Octavius. I use a Sigma 3, the Impulse. An older one, there's a newer version. I used the French cello and I dialed it into the sound that which I liked for my style of playing, which is basically flat, no bass boost. There was 3 different versions at the time. But yeah, every time you see a video of mine where I'm teaching, I'm using my teaching cello, which is this wonderful, wonderful instrument right here. I use my acoustic, my 3 Sigma acoustic impulse. And so, yeah, you know, there are other ones out there, but that one works good for what I have and works good for now. Anyway, let's go on to the next question. Thank you for all the questions. Loving it. Am I still playing the 7/8 cello from Italy? So the 7/8 cello, my beautiful 7/8 cello from Cremona, is at the luthier there in at Edgar Rusch's shop. It is for sale. I am selling it for various reasons, but my life has changed as of recently. And this is a borrowed cello from my student who is Japanese. Hence the reason for the Studio Ghibli stuff. So I'm borrowed it. The last 2 cellos, I haven't played that beautiful acoustic instrument since last year, September of last year. So I haven't had that instrument. That's for sale right now. So if you want to have a master 7/8 cello, contact Edgar Rus in Cremona and you can buy my old cello. I really miss it. Really miss it. This is a good cello. The other cello was good, but well, anyway, I really miss it. It was a good cello. Oh, also, your How to Read Music series was instrumental in teaching me how to read music. Well, you're welcome, Astarte, Exo. You're welcome. I'm glad that you learned how to play cello with that, or read music. I did that series because I need people to watch videos and just learn super quick. Don't talk. I'm talking too much. Just give me what I need to learn quick. Stop talking. Anyway, make it simple, right? I'm here because I recently purchased a practice cello. Well, hello to you, Faye F. Ray. I played when I was young, 8 years old, and the story goes, I just quit. Now, of course. What advice would you give to someone trying to jump back in? The classic returning cellist. It is something that I specialize in. So, if you play the instrument, we have one lovely in the chat. We have F. Ray in the chat. And the returning cellist, you're a kid, you didn't understand things, so you were told to do things. Now you're an adult. And you understand the complexities of life. And so you want to analyze everything. You're going to understand things very quickly, but your body is going to move at a very slow rate. You're going to learn the same physical rate as you were when you were a child. The difference is when you were younger, you had more patience. You understood that you'll screw up and you'll get better. You'll screw up and you'll get better. It is, so for any returning cellist, you will learn things more deeply, more profoundly, discover them in multiple facets as an adult. But your body will still learn at a pace of a child, okay? You'll still, so be patient with your body. You'll understand it super quickly. Why can't I learn it? It will take time and more repetitions. And I don't know how old you are, F_Ray, but the older you get, the least amount of ability to be plastic, if you were, the plasticity, the myelin in your brain. It's going to get less and less, worked. It's going to get less and less efficient. You can still do it. I teach a student right now, F_Ray, which I'll say that he is 90 years old, and I teach a kid that is 6 years old, okay? So between the two, I can show my 6-year-old multiple times the same thing, and they can learn it, relearn it, learn it, unlearn it, relearn it, okay? My 90-year-old, I can only show him something once, and that's it. I get a very small window. If it isn't right the first time, it's gone. Just remember that, okay? So your window of learning, of primary exposure as a returning cellist will get smaller and smaller and smaller. That's science, okay? Your ability to reprogram these or reconnect or make new connections in your brain, the synapses and things like that. My ex was a neurologist. And I was very privileged to have this information. Your ability to make new synaptic connections and build new myelin will always be there, but it's going to go at a much less efficient rate. After the age of 45, you're running to after the age of 60, you're at 5% efficiency from a 10-year-old. Just remember that, okay? But you can learn anything. My 90-year-old learns new songs. And once we get him dialed in, he gets it. So, there you go. Do you have any tips for vibrato? Thank you, Trash Panda. Thank you for asking a question. Do you have any tips for vibrato? We've been learning how to do it, and I just can't get the hang of it. Easy question. I'm going to go to this perspective here. Right. Vibrato. See. That's what happens when you go live. I can't. I just can't do that. I can't. I won't. I'm not going to do it. It annoys me. Vibrato. All right. If you have your cello with you, do this. First question is, which is the easiest finger to learn vibrato on? Index finger is no. It's not. It's the little finger. Why? Because it's the digit furthest from the center of the hand. Okay, the center of your hand as a cellist is here, your middle finger. All right? That's the center of your hand. Everything expands from there. Understand this. This, yes, will function or sort of have a fulcrum effect, but it will not be excited in a fulcrum style. Fulcrum is like this. Don't think, you will see what it looks like this, but it's not what's happening. What's happening is this. Okay? So it sounds silly. Do this. Slide up and down, slide up and down. All right? Now pick a finger. I'm going to pick the fourth finger. Okay, the finger. Now, if you were to just sort of try to move your fingers up and down, release your thumb, move it up and down, not like this, but up and down, you're going to get this little wobble. Now, it's hard with all digits down, so release all of them, even your thumb. But make sure that that spot you don't leave. You're really pushing down, trying to stay in that spot. And you're going to push down, pull up. Push down, pull up. Notice I'm moving my whole body. Effectively, you're going out of tune, one direction. And it's like that. You're oscillating around the frequency. Now, to prove my point that the little digit is the easiest to do, let's try the third digit. C sharp. You'll notice there's more bone, more muscle to fight against. It doesn't wobble as easy. Middle finger. It's very stable, the middle finger, so you really have to move. I mean, again, I'm pushing down, pulling up, pushing down, pulling up. That's what you do. It looks like this, but it's essentially this. And then, you notice something. The index finger, like, wait a minute. It's hard. The reason why the index finger is hard is because you have all of this part of your body that's going sort of against you. Move to the fourth finger. Look at all this. You don't have to do much, and the fourth finger just wobbles very easily. The fourth finger wobbles very easily. You want the easy wobble. The wobble. Wobble. Yeah? So this is the easiest finger to wobble. This finger is the least. It's between the two strongest digits in your hand. You have to move, and so the dropping of the palm doesn't help you as much. You have to lift it and drop it, lift it and drop it. See this right here? Lift it and drop it. How's here? You just drop the palm into the fourth finger. That's why I said start to experiment with your little digit. Again, it's like putting a stake in the ground and then whacking it. That's effectively what you're doing, but you got to keep it in the ground. So that's your finger. And then the vibrato is whacking it back and forth. Go camping, put a stake in the ground, then start kicking it as someone's trying to keep it in the ground. That's effectively what you're doing with vibrato. You got to keep on point and kick it one direction and another direction. And it's hard to do it with the thicker digits, but the little digit is easy. And then you put your body into it, put your elbow into it, put your hand into it. It will evolve over time. You'll notice I play a certain way. I play like this. Some people don't like it. I like it. I don't care. I play the notes and then I ripple the notes. I play the notes and then I ripple the note. I would rather... Some people will hit it. I hate that type of playing. It's bel canto. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. You know. I add tastefully vibrato. That's just my taste. Some people say, I like to play the frequency and then decorate the frequency. But that's just me. Some people don't like the way I play. I don't care. That's the way I play it. That's the way I like doing my vibrato. Anyway, that's a long question. All long answer to a simple question. 29, I really appreciate the insight on many fronts. ... You're welcome. Don't worry. 29 is a good age to get back into a lot of things. At least you're here. You know, think about this. One of my friends tells me, you're as good as you were today as if you're better than you were today if you have never had started doing it. So might as well keep doing it, right? Might as well keep doing it. Keep doing it. All right, Octavius, yes. I learned cello was using Karate Kid techniques since for years. I've never had a cello. Be patient with yourself. You got this. I love that, Octavius. You're good. You're good. I'm good by you. So, Karate Kid techniques. I swear down, you guys need to watch the movie Karate Kid. The Karate Kid. With Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan. It's fun. I'm going to make a video about this. I'm telling you guys, it is so important. How can CelloCoach tell you guys who play cello to watch a Karate Kid movie, let alone not one of the best ones? I'm telling you, as a cello player, as a musician, you have to watch that movie, okay? Because there's a violin lesson in the movie. And it's super important, and it plays into how he wins the tournament in the end. So, watch the Karate Kid movie with Jaden Smith, Jackie Chan, and you will understand why CelloCoach talks about it, why I have all my students watch that movie. So, good on the Mr. Miyagi stuff. I just have set my heart and mind to it, but understanding is frustrating. You're welcome. So, conversation there. You're welcome to everyone. So, well, thank you, Gabriella. I stopped playing the cello after I had my daughter, but I want to start again. You know, I teach cello lessons online, which is amazing because you can just, like one of my students she gets up and she just turns it on, pajamas. I teach my kids, my students with pajamas. They're adults all ages. You just get in your pajamas, turn on your computer, and you get the best quality online lessons you have, in my opinion, in the cello world. Definitely online. Live lessons. No one is dialed in and done. It's just my opinion. It's an experience what I do. Because not only do you have lots of fun stuff, and of course there's a kitty cat. Oh my gosh. You see, that wasn't supposed to happen. That was supposed to be like a cool moment where everything was going to come together. It's like, yeah, there you go. Not only do you get all these great angles, these, by the way, this is all simultaneous at the same time. not only to get great things, but I have this YouTube channel that you guys can totally enjoy. See, that annoys me right there. And I upload custom videos for you guys, and yeah. It's an experience. It just is. My students tell me there's no other teacher in the world that does what I do, and that's cool. That's cool. I've been in this space since 2014, teaching online, and it is not the future, it is now. It is not a pandemic thing, it is now. It is right now. And you can just turn on, I wish my teacher would just teach online. I could just button, hey, I just need to know what this is just now. Because you need someone to look at you as you're making mistakes so I can correct them. I can see things you can't see. I can even record you as you play. Yeah, so anyway. What is my purpose in the cello world? I am the Robin Hood of cello. I'm here to steal from the conservatories, to steal from these hoity-toity elitists and give it to everyone. That's my purpose. I am the original disruptor, and people hate me for this. I take those secrets they pay thousands of euros and dollars to go to the conservatories. I take them, I steal them. Then I diffuse them, make them easy, make them available, and make it fun. Some people hate me for that. As a beginner, another question from Astarte. Am I saying this right? Astarte? Astarte? I'm presuming it's Astarte. As a beginner, putting my hand on the first position and looking what I can get. 50% accuracy. Often I'll pluck and need to adjust. It's just a matter of time before I can get it accurately. Well, talking about that particular question, you know, there is a video coming up, and you guys will get this is, all my students know what this is. They get the lecture, but you'll get a half lecture, okay? In my scale book, boom, not to promote myself, but in my scale book, I have this page. Now this is the full actual like talk on YouTube about this. I do this stuff right here, but there is, in the avenue of work, so we have work over, can I slide this, maybe this direction, wrong way. Right, there we go. Right, so you have work and you have labor, right? Join the studio, you'll get the full lecture. And all these things right here in my scale book, you see all these things are things that you do as you're playing. What is work, what is labor? Okay, work is linear, labor is cyclical. But then you have your priorities as you're playing, and this right here is very important. What are your priorities? Si tu parles français, vos priorités. Oui, je parle français. Un petit peu. Un petit peu, oui, pas courant. And so, yeah, what are those things? Now, my students one day we'll have a live stream. We'll talk about this. We'll have a live call-in. We'll discuss this. And I'm going to tell you, I'll say it right now, your priorities, the top 3 priorities are first listed in that list right there, but your top 3 priorities are the same for every cellist, for every level, for every song, for all time, for every ensemble. So what of all of these applies, especially the top 3? Those of you who enjoyed me during summer camp, those of you who had my lessons, know the answers to this. And what I usually ask my students to do is to take this list, look at these things, and put down the top priorities, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 6 of them. What are the top 6 priorities? And label and rank them 1 through 6. A lot of people will put intonation ranked very highly. And I'm going to leave it at that. So, I'm just going to leave it at that. That's a whole other discussion, whole other day. Of course, intonation is important, but it's a whole other discussion, whole other day. All right. Astarte. Warhammer. Okay. You see? Astarte. See? I got it right. I got it right. I got it right. I don't mind the haters, Octavius. Double jointed pinky, yes. Watch out for the double jointed. Essential elements are fine. All right, here's another one from Trash Panda. Do you have any Tips for switching from third position to fourth position quickly. Depends on which third position we are. So great question, by the way. We're getting into the weeds here. So third. All right, so fourth position is a really easy one. And we sort of like learn it because you can put it on your cello. You can put it. If you're going from, let's say, the classic lower third position here, this part of your cello, which helps you in finding it in movement, Trash Panda, in movement, it becomes something of a hindrance, not a help. So. This part of your cello, you want to avoid that, okay? Don't get so locked into thinking that your thumb needs to always be in the same place. Don't do that, don't do that. So my suggestion is to be able to find the fourth position without as much touching this part, the upper bout of your instrument. So I'm shifting from the lower third to the fourth position, not touching this. Being able to that. That becomes a hindrance because you're thinking about moving up, moving down. As you continue along your journey of cello, you will find that this part right here, this classic, you're going to be able to move quickly as long as you understand this was there for a physical cue point, but you program it into your brain how it feels. Because what you really are truly programming is this, your arm. Because you're not touching anything. Sometimes I ask my students to put in a coin right here so they can feel what the compression of the bicep to the forearm. Start to understand that the position of the elbow, this whole part of your body here, you program this. What's moving? Do you move your hand when playing cello? No, you don't. You move your arm. The hand goes to a spot and stays. The hand goes to a spot and stays. I know it's crazy. I'm telling you right now, you don't move your hand. Because once you get there, you don't move it. It will maybe, but if you move your hand, you lose your intention. You get there, and you say, so what moves? The arm moves. That's moving. Another concept, another day. So avoid the upper bout to get to the fourth position. Hello, Dylan. Ooh, another. Sorry, it's weird when I'm looking down here, but it's right there. I should put it higher. I should put it right. I was going to put it right here. Thank you, Dylan. I appreciate you liking the Ghibli pieces. How do you figure out what part of the bow and how much of it to use to start a note or phrase in a particular piece? Well, I often end up with no room for a sustained note, and I have to restart the bow in the other direction and pause and does yes. This is another video. I'm going to make a video about this. So there's three concepts that are under the umbrella of playing the cello. Okay, I'm going to take something we probably all know. Okay. And you want to hear something not so? I need to have something 17, 17. Okay, so I guess it comes to mind because I was doing this today with a student. Okay, so since we're talking about the bow, okay? Since we're talking about the bow, we're going to take a simple song so I can really talk about this, all right? When I play this piece, and you've probably learned this before. By the way, it's supposed to be played that fast. But let's say you played a solo. It's very subtle, but in the second measure, see that? You have a note, boom, boom, moktele, okay? You are distributing your bow and you're managing your bow. Bow management is how fast the bow moves. Bow distribution is the location or where you play your bow. They work in tandem or can be worked separately. So bow distribution, right now, when I start the phrase, I'm going to start here. Because I don't want to start here, it's going to be too heavy. And here, I'm not going to have any control. And the phrasing is a nice brushed spiccato. But then the next part, there it is. See what happened? On this note, I did some bow distribution. I went from the lower half to the upper half. I remained there because I have a dotted half note, 1, 2, 3, following. That's very important because a lot of times you have in music, and since we're talking about Ghibli, since why not, I'm going to pull up one of the songs I'm really enjoying doing. Let me find it. I haven't done this one yet. This is Ashitaka. So this one's Ashitaka. This is coming up, by the way, for those of you. So we had a problem with distribution of this song right here. So we're talking about where to start in the bow, how to make that good sound. All these things are to come into, where did Master talk about Ghibli? Master talk about it, right? All right. Let's look at the very beginning. By the way, those of you who are eagle-eyed, I hope you can see the background. Look right here, mezzo piano with an up bow, 3 eighth notes. Then we have here a down bow with how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, a lot of eighth notes, 2, 4, 6 eighth notes, double the amount of eighth notes, double the amount of time. Slow your bow. And then I did a modification of the bowing here to do that. So you're not going to start this phrase, you're not going to start, well, here. Why should you not start in the upper half of your bow? Because you have a long down bow. If I start here, oh, I ran out of bow. So we need to start here. If I start here too close, that's better, but I kind of choked the notes. So start in the middle half. And in tandem, I'm using various forms of bow distribution, various forms of bow management, and the weight and pressure is also varying, and that what I call presence, my presence on the string. So first I think about where. That's an easy one. That's very binary. So where is going to be somewhere along this plane right here. So I'm going to start in the middle. Then I'm going to think about how fast. Well, if I just, all of the eighth notes remain the same length of bow, I don't really have to think about the bow management. That's the speed of the bow. But then I think about the weight versus the pressure. Presence. That's why I use that word presence. So now I'm going to be playing on this thinner string, and I want to play nice and soft. Li, but not soft. Gentle. Now the next part is, okay, I need to have that really sorted. So now my fourth finger is going to land nice and flat. And for a moment, I forgot about to increase my presence, my initial authority on this string. All these things you have to think about. So then, yes, all of these things work together, and then you balance them as you're playing the song. And yes, sometimes and then you're going to, every time that you lift your bow, you are losing inertia, you're losing, by the way, I played this part right here. That was right here. If you're looking at B, that was B. You're losing this inertia, this energy of going into and out of this. The bow is meant to be in movement. The bow is not meant to be held. There is no such thing as a bow hold. The bow hold doesn't exist. You've been lied to your whole life. It doesn't exist. You don't hold your bow. You guide your bow. This is just there, but look, I'm physically holding the bow, but the bow is never meant to exist in its own time and space. The bow is meant to what? Engage with the string. Now look what happens to the hand. It totally changes. You cannot hold the bow the same way as you play. Remember that. This is all loose. Sometimes you'll play and you'll lose your fingers. Just remember that. Just remember that, okay? That's super important. The bow guide, if you play snooker, pool, billiards, this is the only sport I can imagine, because as you're walking around the billiards table, you're holding the stick. But do you hit the ball that way? No, no, no. It is meant to be engaged, and what happens with this hand? It loosens up. You don't hold your bow. So, yes, going back to that question, Dylan, is having this understanding of where the weight is, pressure is, being the presence, your understanding of where on the bow you want to start a phrase. It's all dynamic. It always changes. And how fast you're going to manage. So how managing your fastness, how you distribute your bow, and how you're going to use, are you going to use the weight of your arm, or are you going to use the pressure, or the pulling, And all these things concepts come into the world of bow maintenance. Now think about that. Everyone think about Dylan's question. All right? How do you get, he wants to find out what part of the bow or how much to use to start a note or phrase. Okay, think about that. That's very important. There's a lot of thinking that's going on prior to him actually making the sound, If I'm going to play the beginning of the swan, it's going to be different. You're going to play it here, or here, or here. Am I going to lift the bow, which I just silly did? Are you going to let your bow drift one direction? You're going to lift it drift another direction? Are you going to be rigid? These are all things. Another discussion another day. I'll often end up with no room for sustained note, and I have to restart the bow in another direction and the sound doesn't sound appropriate. Yeah, so that's amazing. That's a great question. When you are, classic, again, in the swan, I'm thinking, when you have a long note followed by, I'm going to pick another Ghibli song. Let's do, if you have any Ghibli songs you want to ask for. I'll do the other one. Princess. This is a pretty one. I like this one. Sometimes you lift your bow. Sometimes you let the bow do what it is. Is this? No, this is not that good. I'm thinking about, no, and I'm drawing a blank. You're welcome. I feel like I'm asking a lot of questions. No, Trash Panda, that's why I'm here. Engagement. Feel free to leave a super chat if anyone wants to do that. That would be great. if anybody wants to. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I know what super chats are. Anyway, that means you give me a little ding ding, a little tip for doing these things. You don't have to, but it's always appreciated. Shows YouTube I'm doing a good job. Seriously, even if you give me like a 50-cent super chat, they're like, hey, these live streams are important. I'll do more of them. I like doing them. All right, Trash Panda. I feel like I'm creating a bad habit when I move my shoulder to bow instead of using my shoulder. Is there any tips from avoiding doing that? I feel like when I move my shoulder to bow. All right. Well, I guess we'll end on this one, Trash Panda. Interesting name, by the way. Trash Panda. Your shoulders, how much of your shoulders, what is the shoulder when it comes to cello playing, right? What is the shoulder? I can't believe I'm going to do what I'm about to do. What is the shoulder? So let's get this. Here we go. I need to show you what the shoulder is, but I really can't right now. Okay, so you'll just have to trust me on this one. I don't have the right shirt on. Okay. Okay. So you have the shoulder's multiple things. What is your shoulder to you? Okay, there's multiple things, but two major muscles that are there is this muscle here, which I'm not, my people anatomy can know what this muscle does. This muscle does this, and then you have this muscle does this. I know this is called the rotator cuff muscle. Okay, it's a different muscle from this. Now, as you get stressed about anything in life, you tend to protect your vital organs, your neck, yeah? And so you tend to do this. You tend to pull in, turtle up. I call it turtling up. Exposing your neck, exposing the wrist. These are things that cello asks you to do. If you raise your, and this is the thing, I was like, the first thing you do is you drop those shoulders. You drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. And stop caring about making mistakes, because you will make mistakes. Okay? But the more you, I heard a mistake. Ooh, another. Open up. Drop those shoulders down. Because if you lift your shoulders, this is what's going to happen to your bow. If you lift your shoulders, this is, I'm shrugging. Here it is. I didn't do anything. All I did is shrugged my shoulder. Here I go again. I guess you can see it better if I do this right here. There we go. I'm going to shrug the shoulder, and you're going to see the, watch. See that? Look how much. Now I'm going to do a very little, just a little bit of stress. Look at that. See that? Look here. See that? But this change, this vertical movement, in addition to a lateral movement, causes a strident sound. And you lose your presence on the string. So, try not to do that. How? You have to put it part of your practice. All right? If you're playing something you're not really confident in doing, you go into a shift. If you're not confident in what you're going to do, you don't know it, then you're going to lose, you're going to turtle up. So, how do you build confidence? You know what you're doing. You have good habits. But let's say you're stressed about something that you're reading for the first time. How do you stress less about things when you're reading for the first time? You know your scales, you know your arpeggios, you do etudes. And you train those positions, you train those different things. So you can think about all those things. Once your tone goes off, your intonation is off. Accept the fact your intonation will never be perfect. Accept the fact that you live in an auto-tuned world where everything is auto-tuned, where everything is digitally enhanced, okay? Everything. Get used to that. When you listen to organic creative music, it will definitely sound different. Just get used to that, all right? Get used to that. That's something the new generation, this generation, everyone today, we're infected by is the fact that everything's auto-tuned. Everything's perfect when it comes to professional recordings, even in classical world, even in the classical world, okay? Not auto-tuned, but digitally spliced and enhanced, okay? All right, you want to hear a proper music, go to a live concert. And you're going to hear the scritches and the scratches and all the good stuff. It's not going to be perfect, okay? But that recording artist that does that album, they will do that recording in multiple locations. Take, for example, Yo-Yo Ma, amazing cellist. He knows the Schumann very well. And he did a tour once of America, and he did the Schumann many times. And then they recorded, of course, and did a live recording, live at whatever. And he did live, yes, he did live. Of course he did live, but was it the exact same night, every night? Because he did 3 nights in a row at one time. Is the thing true? Not really, because sometimes things happen. Someone coughs or whatever, things happen. So just keep it real. Accept it. Right? So the shoulder thing, right? There are multiple parts of the right. So yeah, I see. That's why I didn't go to medical school. Thank you, Eddie. One summer's day is one I'm trying to learn, but I feel I don't put enough speed on the bow, but I end up with this quickie sound, but I'm tired. Let's go to One Summer's Day. Why not? I'll end on that one. Summer. I did a, pull that up. This one here. Oh, yes. So my student is totally struggling with this one. Bam. There's that one there. So for the very beginning, we're talking about beginning of phrases. Dylan, where are you going to start? Mezzo piano. Simple as. Here. And let the bow do what it needs to do. Lift your bow, and then another upstroke. Lift your bow. I'll go all the way here. Little lifts. Let it drift. Stay there. You can stay there if you wish, or just push it just a little bit. And you do nothing here in measure 20. You do nothing. Even here. Because that note is going to bring you back to the... Now, right here, there is a little hidden thing I didn't talk about. Is in this measure. If you're learning this song, by the way, I'm going to cover this part right here. This right here. Here, thumb. There. There it is. Sorry. Now, you want to remain relatively in the upper half of the bow for this part. And then the next measure is going to, you want to trap that, we're looking ahead in 22, but you're here in the upper half. You want to keep it in the upper half. And there you're in the upper half again. And we're continuing for this part right there. So we're here in the upper half again. And let it drift. And then Now here, for this part, it's piano. It's piano. So, don't play here. Too much pressure. I mean, too much weight. Don't play here because it's too far. So, middle. And let it drift all the way to the tip, because the next phrase is a crescendo from mezzo piano here. So, and then we go into, we're going to switch angles. There we go. So we're here. And here at the end of that measure, that's measure if you're looking at your part. If you bought it, great. You're still in the upper half, but it's okay. It's an expressive part. And then going back to this right here. You can allow the bow to just let it do its thing. Let the bow dance. Let the bow do what it needs to do. Right there, da, da, da. And that's the part where you use bow distribution. You have to build confidence in knowing where your bow is going to end up. Allowing the bow to play in this part. En français, on dit la moitié supérieure. This is the superior part of the bow, right? This right here. This is the most expressive part. A violinist cannot play expressively here. They can play loud, but the expressiveness of the violin starts here. It's easier for them to play here. So, think like a violin, viola, and play with the expressive part here. Get to know. One of the questions earlier was, how do you know you don't have enough rosin on your bow? Well, can you play at the very, very tip? Can you play here? Can you play this? Do you have rosin here? Do you use that part? Does it ever slide off? Yes. Anyway, I think that's it for everyone's questions. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for, and if it's not synced, I'll do it better. I'll do it better. I'll do more of these. If you want me to do more of these, tell me in the chats. I'll do more of these. I like doing them. I like doing them. You're welcome. Everybody, if you're lurking, if you're saying, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Love Studio Ghibli. Nausicaa is my favorite one. You're welcome, Trash Panda. Love Studio Ghibli. Ugh. Since you guys are here, maybe I should do, I'll share with you. No, I'll share it later. But I went to the concert this year of Joe Hisaishi here in Paris. And like nobody I know likes, like I took a flight. I paid a lot of money to go see this concert, okay? And it was amazing. Joe Hisaishi is probably just finishing his tour. Probably does a couple dates in Seattle, and he's done. He's one of the greatest living composers of our time, okay? Like, his ability to write beautiful music that moves the soul, in my opinion, is far better than any Hans Zimmer. And people like laud Hans Zimmer. You can't play, I like Hans Zimmer, I do. But can he play Interstellar on the piano? I mean, on the cello? You know, but Joe Hisaishi has been doing this since the early 80s, and Ghibli movies with him. I mean, he's done others. Check out the movie Departures. He wrote the music to that one too. He knows how to make beautiful, expressive music, all right? For strings, particularly for us. And Departures is a fantastic, let's see if I have that. Maybe I'll leave you with that one. Memory. Yeah. By the way, yeah, it's a version I found online. you can't. You just can't. You can't. So I'll just play you out with this beautiful song. And it's slowly going dark. Right, that was Joe Hisaishi. Do it better another day. That was Memory from Departures. I hope you have wonderful memories you build with your cello. You're blessed to play cello. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for being wonderful and being awesome, because everything is awesome. Until next time, have a good day, good evening, good afternoon, good night, and good morning, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jonathan. I teach cello. And thank you for joining me as you travel along your own journey of music discovery. Bye for now. Hi. End the stream, Dave.